Well, I'm just getting back from this really cool time I had with Annabelle on this Elijah cruise. Anyway, so I get back home, right? And I'm just catching up on the news. Come into my house. I kid you not, this is like live. I'm just sitting here like anyone else, any other ordinary American. And I go, all right, what's happening in the news that I've been missing? So I'm catching up on this Manchester bombing thing. Well, actually, I'm just catching up on news. I'm even watching yesterday's news. Now, watch this. And sometimes you hear stuff, and it kind of like slips right past you. And it's like, what was that? What? And I go back and rewind, and I go, did I hear that correctly? So I got this ongoing debate with a friend of mine, because I have friends that are from the UK. And, of course, the UK is bombarded by CNN, which basically means that they're getting the, fake news network. It should be FNNs. So they're getting, like, all this crazy news. So, of course, they hate Trump because they think that Trump is a, warmonger, racist, bloviating billionaire or something like that. So, which obviously puts them at odds with me because I'm saying that he is an answer to prayer and a divine intervention, regardless of his flaws. So, but they tell me, like, the UK is perfectly safe. Oh, what's all this fear-mongering in the United States? So watch this. This is my question for my friends in the UK. Let's just... Shoot. Hold on. You guys still here? I think I almost turned my... I accidentally started to turn us off. Are we still watching? I got so excited I hit finish instead of... I want to turn the lens around. I hope this is still broadcasting. Okay, here we go. I'll turn this around. All right, can you guys see this? Are you with me? Say yes if you're with me. Tell me if you're with me. I want some wine in your background, please. Sorry, I don't believe in whining. All right, look, I'm just going to turn this on. Watch this. Here we go.
The investigators are also being investigated. Probes are looking at how attacker Abedi slipped through the officials' net. Sky News reporting authorities were alerted 3 times Abedi was a possible security risk.
3 times.
And while the man responsible for the carnage was reportedly in a group of 20,000 possible jihadis,
what?
He didn't make it into a smaller group that gets closer attention.
What?
Has the risk assessed whether or not that person that they're talking about is actually at what stage they are perhaps in the radicalization process and what stage they are actually towards moving towards terrorism?
This is a long holiday weekend.
What? Wait a second. Did I just hear? Let me say this again. He did make it into the pool of 20,000?
Carnage was reportedly in a group of 20,000 possible jihadis. He didn't make it into a smaller group that gets closer attention.
What?
Has the risk assessed whether or not that person that they're talking about is actually at what stage they are?
Oh, wait a second. Hold it. Stop it right there. Now, come on back. You guys catching this? You hear this? 20,000 that they know about. 20,000 in the UK. Jihadists, not Muslims. 20,000 potential blow you up people. I get this. Ready? He didn't make it into the pool. What pool? The dead pool. Talking about people ready to blow them. So he didn't make it into what? The top 5,000. You hear what they're saying? They got 20,000, but they can't keep track of 20. So they had like 5,000 people. And he didn't make it in, and he was warned 3 times. They were warned 3 times. That means this guy didn't make it into the pool with 3 times people warning. That means they got at least 5,000 with 5 warnings. You know what I would do? If I was in Manchester, just Manchester, after a couple of these more incidents like this go on, I'd publish the list of the top 100, wouldn't you? I mean, we do that with sex offenders. We should say, let's publish the list of the top 100 out of the 20,000 who we really are freaked out about. Now, I'm sure they don't want to do that because they're actually monitoring them in order to catch the network, because there's a network. But I'd start publishing, put the top 5,000 out there, And call it the UK good neighbor policy. When you see them, check up on them. How you doing? You feeling good this week? What do you say, Ahmed? Let's go out to have some tea. I mean, reach out to them, evangelize and be friends with them. Go to the mosque with them. I'd want to know who they are, wouldn't you? Folks, this is secular stupidity on steroids. This is classic European socialism. Well, this isn't really terrorism. We don't consider this really terror. What are they don't know what to call it. Because they can't come to grips with the fact that not all Muslims, 99% of Muslims are not terrorists. But 100% of the incidents of people blowing themselves up in Europe are done by Muslims who are terrorists. That ought to make you think. All right, so what's the answer? Well, the answer is in recognizing that the Wahhabi sect of Saudi Arabian teaching promotes a certain species of extremism within the Islamic tradition that should be condemned. And this is hopefully what Trump is doing with the Saudis. He's saying, you better deal with the Wahhabi. It's the particular school of thought, the Wahhabi school of thought, that is traced to the roots of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Now, there's more to this, obviously. As a Christian, you know, there's a power, there's a spirit, there's a hatred, there's a violence, and it's the same spirit that works in any form of racism or extreme craziness. But the answer is certainly, partially being honest. 20,000. You heard it right here. And this guy says they're checking the people that are supposed to be checking. Because somehow this guy slipped past. He didn't make it into the top pool. A guy this dangerous, because they're tracing 5,000 others probably. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm just saying, I'm just watching the news. I'm going, what did I just hear? Because my friends tell me, there's no problem here in the UK, Lance. Well, actually, they don't sound like that. That's like somebody from the Midwest. There's no problem here in the US, Lance. Well, it's all, it's only a hysteria in the United States. It's perfectly safe over here. We don't have any problem at all. Nope. I think you have a problem, Houston. All right. Well, anyway, I meant to tell you guys, I'm doing a youth camp in July. Your kids, it's not you and me. It's our children are going to face the brunt of this crazy war. This is decade of assault from socialists, secularists, and, quasi-communists. Marxists is what they are coming out of college thinking right now. Every kid wants, Bernie Sanders to be president, but they want to live like they could be on Shark Tank. They haven't figured out yet. You can either have Shark Tank or Chairman Mao. You can't have both. But they haven't quite got that message yet. So I'm doing a camp in July. You guys want to check it out. Send your sons and daughters. I'm going to be training them on how to survive the onslaught of professors on college campuses. You got any kids going to college or you're sending them to college? I'm specializing in training 50 to 75 young people in how to form cohorts like Maximus in the arena in Rome, where they can stay sane and maybe even be an awakening group, keep themselves spiritually strong, and not get seduced or drink the Kool-Aid from the crazies that are teaching on the college campuses that you're paying so much money and the government is subsidizing to propagandize your children for socialism in the future. So it's going to be, just go to lancewallnau.com/7mgen, because they're going to take those 7 mountains, and I'm bringing in the top debate coaches, worldview coaches. I'm basically going to train them. It'll be fun. There'll be a lot of fun stuff. I got fun activity. But I've got some really powerful Washington team people coming in to train your sons and daughters in thinking clearly and debating coherently and owning completely a worldview that can resist the onslaught of the beast. So check that out. By the way, I'm going to Phoenix, Arizona for the Pentecost right now with David Herzog. Then I'm flipping over to Dr. Dwayne Hardin in Atlanta on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have a heck of a great time in both places on the Glorious Chaos Tour. But I did want to alert you to this 20,000 jihadists. But this guy didn't make it into the top category. So they're really concerned about how they're categorizing their 20,000. Man, makes you wonder, doesn't it? All right. Talk to you soon. Be back in touch with you shortly. Bye-bye.